And good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Highside Hustle right here on the National Racing Network. We are back again for another week of this show. We like to, cause shenanigans and everything on. I didn't really think of an opening night, Adam. So, yeah, that's why that went off the rails. So,
Evil
30
shenanigans.
30 seconds in the show, and it's already off the rails. My name is Bert Wojcik, anyways, folks. That is Adam Rubright, Chris Graham, our executive producer. Adam, the ice has officially been broken in central Pennsylvania, and we are going to have the winner of the Icebreaker coming on here in just a little bit. Freddie Rahmer, he picked up the opening day win at Lincoln, so he's going to talk to us here in a little bit. But when he gets on here in just a few minutes, we're going to have an invader coming in this weekend, just announced, just after, lunchtime today. We are going to have Kevin Thomas Jr. join us a little bit later on and talk about his winged 410 adventures this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to talk to Kevin. It should be a really good interview. It'll be nice to discuss, the ins and outs on what made him want to go winged racing compared to what he's been known for. Really is the wingless side of things. Freddie should be a really good conversation also. Should be a good show.
Absolutely. So we'll get started as we wait for Kevin Thomas Jr. to come on board here. Let's talk about the Lincoln Icebreaker. Obviously got moved from Saturday to Sunday, which fantastic move. Great job on Lincoln's part. You went for the better day. And it was the better day in general because it was a fantastic Sunday afternoon, Sunday fun day. And it was a good race. It was a very, very good race. I was not expecting that that wide of a track on a sunny, windy day in the Pigeons Hills. But Fred Putney and the crew did a phenomenal job of getting that track in great, great shape for that feature on Sunday, which we saw Jordan Givler and Aaron Bollinger on the front row. And for a while there, Bollinger, he looked really good. He looked really good at the start of that race.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, hats off to Fred Putney. Heat races, as you would necessarily expect, kind of one lane until you got the rough stuff out of the track, and feature came around and it was a really good race. I thought, multiple lanes for given the day with how windy it was and the temperatures and, the rain on over the weekend. So definitely hats off to the entire track crew at Lincoln and the racers for coming out, stout field of cars for a day that could have been potentially really bad weather wise with hurting motors and with how brisk the air was and stuff like that. But I thought it was a good turnout, great crowd. Once again, great to get the season started in Pennsylvania.
Absolutely. And you mentioned that too, Adam, is that the car count, 35 cars to start the year off. I mean, I wasn't expecting that at all for opening weekend at Lincoln. 50 degrees, touchy a little bit. I feel like for weather or for motor wise, I feel like then again, Lincoln's not as hard on motors as what say Port Royal may be, when it's 50 degrees out, but still. That is a very impressive car count. I mean, obviously, you're going to lose some cars this weekend with Port Royal running practice on Saturday, and some guys are going to go up there. And then, some guys might be saving their stuff for Sunday. But still, 35 cars, not terrible at all. And good cars, too.
Yeah. Stout field of cars. You had the Invader with Buddy Kofoid coming in. It was nice to see the new teams that were formed over the off season. You're right, Cole. It did kind of rubber up. I mean, what can you really expect when it's 50 degrees and the wind is not necessarily howling, but it was fairly windy. I mean, windier than you'd probably like it. But I mean, what can you really do there? It was overall, it was just nice to get out of the house and get back racing.
It was really nice, and it was a lot of fun. Great to see everyone again. But back to the race itself, there, Cole was right. It did rubber up a little bit, but not terrible. I thought the track really was. You had two lanes. The top was nice. The bottom, you could run the bottom, but it kind of surprised me on a track, as we mentioned before. Daylight surface, wind, the top side was there, and that's how Freddie Raymore got around Aaron Bollinger and Brent Marks. He tried everything he could to get Freddie. Lap traffic, as Brent said in his post-race interview, which you can see here on National Race Network, he needs some live traffic, I feel like, to get around Freddie. That's what he really, really needs to get around him. But it's too late in the race for the cautions when they came out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Brent was really reeling him in there with like 15 to go. I think, maybe another caution here or there. Even if you didn't get the or another caution and you just got, thicker, heavier lap traffic, I think he really could have done something there. And even at one point, Macri and Dietrich were right there also. So you had necessarily 4 cars with in a chance to win the race, and you really can't ask for much more than that.
No, you can. And again, like Macri and Dietrich towards the end there, that got very interesting. Just a little bit of a contact and throwing sliders on each other. That was nifty. Good race there. But yeah, it was just a good Lincoln Icebreaker. I mean, definitely an interesting one from what we've had in years past. It wasn't heavy rubber down or heavy hammer down. Yeah, it was just kind of a different Lincoln Icebreaker than what we've been having the years past. I go back to probably about 2020. That's probably the last time you had a track like this for the Lincoln Icebreaker, and that was still back in. I think that was still February too when we had that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we're still waiting for our guest Kevin Thomas Jr. to come on board. So we might pull an audible here. I might try and go call Freddie up, see if we can't get him on first. But yeah, let's switch over to things here now with on the NASCAR side of things here, where we got to beat us towards the end of the race there, and we went back and looked at the highlights. Is Auto Club a great racetrack? Question mark. Or is this new car that good?
I think so. I mean, I don't know. It's Auto Club traditionally has been a snooze fest over the years. The new cars are great. I still think they have a lot of kinks to work out with them. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said the other week, this new car, you're really not going to find out truly what it is until you get to the short tracks and the mile and a halves and things like that. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. My date still to watch with these new cars is the Bristol Dirt. I think that's going to be a shit show, but I think it's going to be a certified great shit show to watch. So
I can get behind that. Absolutely. I can get behind that where it'll be a great certified shit show. I mean, obviously it's going to be last year. Um, excuse me. I thought it was a good race. Obviously Joe Logano with little dirt experience. I didn't know what he was doing, but going out there and getting the win. But hey, good on him. Um, yeah, absolutely. It was a fantastic race, and I think I wouldn't say the mile and a halves are definitely going to be your bread and butter on what's going to these cars are going to be. But I also think that the dirt race too. I mean, that's a one and done deal though. That's the problem is that you don't have a whole kind of setup where you're going to have multiple dirt races. You got to have a let me see here. You got to have, I think, the setup on it that it'll be something that'll work for the entire year, and that will be the big test is these mile and a halves. Now, I think Las Vegas this week is going to be a big test for it, but next week, then we go to Phoenix next week. What's this car going to be? Who knows?
yeah, I agree. I don't know. I think the new car is a long way to come. I think the things with BBS and the wheels and stuff like that has to get worked out. I find it a little funny that the new way, when you have a flat tire, you can't make it back to the pits because it just spins on the bead. you have to
Yeah,
get you have to get
that's a
towed. You
problem.
have to get you have to get towed in for a flat tire when obviously years past you can just drive right on in and
We also
deal with the
had
consequences
the
later. But
we also had the airliner in there too. The airliner
Mhm.
helped out a lot on that side, so you didn't really have you didn't have that problem. So now you
Yeah.
add the inner liner. That now you don't have the inner liner in there, as far as I know.
It's just a tire spinning on a bead. I mean,
It is.
somebody somewhere could have probably came up with a better design for that, but then again, that's why
Yeah,
we're just two idiots on the radio talking about stupid shit that we find interesting.
exactly. But Kyle Larson did pick up the win there. Pretty interesting restart there. It did get wide there, 5 wide, I think, at one point. But Austin Dillon, nice run. But I want to go back and look at the top 5 here in NASCAR. I thought it was kind of interesting. You had Larson, Dillon, Eric Jones, Daniel Suarez, and Joey Logano. 2 of those names I expect in the top 5. The other 3, I did not.
No, not even remotely. But hey, good for them. I mean, it kind of goes back to what I said last week with it feels like now everyone realistically has a shot to win a race. You know? Um, all the cars seem like finally they're on an even playing field compared to years past where, the Chevys were so dominant for a while, and then the Fords, and then the Toyotas kind of took over for a while. It's just one of those things that it's refreshing to be able to see the cars and the drivers be unnecessarily on an even playing field, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. And sorry about that, folks. Just trying to get a couple things here. Mud Turtles in a great race. Yes, Jason, good to see you this weekend as well. Actually, I didn't get a chance to see you, but I saw you were off doing some shenanigans this weekend as well. With that, and of course, you'll be running the 600s modified this year. But yeah, I think there's a lot to talk about with this new car. There's a lot to talk about with a lot of different aspects of it, but I think the racing so far has put up with it. So we'll see what happens. So we'll get off that a little bit here. We'll move on. That no really other racing that went on this weekend outside the Indy cars. They were down in St. Petersburg. Scott McLaughlin picked up the win on that one. You can see everything down below and the 31st or 34 Motorsports ticker down below. Yeah, kind of sucked without no Outlaws this weekend. They got rained out. No everything else. But we did have the Short Track Elite Series, which I just remembered on top of my head there. We were
Yes.
going, Ryan Godown picked up the win.
Yeah, fantastic race. And before we go any further, big shout out to the little Watt himself for picking up his first career modified, or no, technically second career, but first career win with the Short Track Super Series. Little Logan picking up a win on the crate side of things, so pretty badass for him.
Yes, we're proud of our boy, Logan Watt. Congrats, man. And hopefully we'll get to have talking to him soon here. And yeah, well, let's before we get on the Short Track Super Series, let's get our first guest in here, ladies and gentlemen. He picked up the win at the Lincoln Icebreaker this past weekend, and should be a lot of fun to talk to him. He's looking at a great season, ladies and gentlemen. Freddie Rahmer is joining us on the Fredericksburg Eagle Hotel Hotline. What's going on, dude? How are you?
Oh, good. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing great, man. Hey, congratulations on a good opening day win. Not only is it, it's nothing new you being victory lane at Lincoln, but it is in the brand new car, the Eichelberger car, and it was a solid win for you guys there. And on the high side too, Freddie, you ripped that thing down. Normally you can't do that in opening day at Lincoln unless it's fast and heavy.
Yeah, no, that was a really good racetrack for the opener and a day show, and it wasn't that good in the heats especially the first couple, and then it got wider we were lucky to be in the fifth heat race, but it was racy in the feature, and sometimes we'll go there and it could be real wet and heavy, and you're real tensed up at the first race. So I was happy with the racetrack, and luckily it was slower pace, so hopefully the next couple here before you hit the night race, and are a little slower, so you can takes a couple races to get back with things, But it went really well. The car feels really good. That was the third time we ran it for Rich, and it feels good. And looking forward to get racing more and get things a little bit better together.
Definitely, like Bert said, congrats on the win first and foremost. We know you're in a new car this year. What all went into putting that deal together, and what makes you think that it's going to be? Well, I shouldn't say makes you think that it's going to be. What do you think contributes to kind of the early success in that car? Because I know you ran it a couple times last year. You had some fairly good finishes in it, so You start off the season this year with a win. How do you think that can possibly progress throughout the season as you really start to gel together?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Rich and the guys that help Matt and Harold and the guys that have always helped me and for a long time, my dad, of course, always. And we have everybody has really good stuff now, but I think we did a good job of getting prepared. And Rich got a lot of good equipment. And I think we all want the same thing and work. Uh, we all want to work towards the same thing and goal. We love racing, so I think it's going to work out great. And we've had some success here. We want we want more. We want to do the best we can every night for Rich and everybody, and have fun. When you're running really well, it's fun, obviously, because that's what it's all about. But we'll have some nights that are off too, and we'll bounce back from them and go on to the next one. And then just looking forward to the whole year because we're gonna be racing a lot like we always do. But I think we're gonna be fresher with certain ways than with a little bit different change. Racing for Rich and all the people that helped on our car and his, and looking forward. I think the, hopefully we can get qualified good at the bigger shows, and I think we'll have a lot of good nights together.
Absolutely, and I think that you've been so lucky in your career, your young career too, to have some really good guys behind you. Obviously, your dad, Big Fred, but then you also had the knowledge of Stevie Smith with you when he was running basically the first couple of years you have, and now you got Rich Eichelberger with you. There's not many people that have had that kind of tutorage behind them. And I feel like that gives you a massive advantage going forward here because that's a lot of knowledge to be, kind of feed off to you. And then you can just take that and put it right on the track there too with your driving talents.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, getting the it's been the best being able to help my dad with when he was racing for a living and really high level. And I don't know what I would be doing if it wasn't for that. And then get to work with Stevie was the perfect timing when my dad stopped driving. And because we ran really well with Stevie and really probably one of the best people you could ever meet in racing. I was me and my dad and we were all talking my family and stuff. We really do miss him. Just have him around because he's such a good guy, and we learned a lot off of him. And just been lucky that we've been had good stuff. And the way I've been taught that we get prepared and just our regimen and routine is that means a lot. Like that that gets us prepared to have success. It doesn't nothing the amount you work and what equipment you have, nothing guarantees you to be successful. But uh, I think all that leads to get us in a good position too. But the one thing I didn't know if I was supposed. You guys are both wearing hats. I didn't know if I was supposed to wear one now or what's going on with that.
Okay, so here's the thing. All right,
Is
you got
that
a full head of hair. Adam's got a full head of hair. I look like a Mr. Clean without one, so I always have one, so I at least
okay?
hide that. I don't need the shine off the glasses there, Fred. That's basically what I don't need.
All right. I mean, for next time,
Should I go get my
I wasn't
glasses since we're
prepared.
doing that? Do you want me to go get my glasses? I can go get those for on that.
No, that's all right. I just didn't. I felt left out or something, but it's okay.
I don't think I've ever seen you in a hat either, Fred. Thinking about it, I don't know if I've ever seen you in
No,
a
no, I
hat.
don't wear hats.
Exactly.
I mean, I would for you guys, but I don't wear
Oh, that's
hats.
so sweet of you.
So.
That's so sweet. Did Aaron twist your arm for that one?
No. So
Oh goodness.
no, that's all.
But hey,
That's all.
so as most people know, your dad has 7 opening day wins at Lincoln. We were just talking about Stevie and Steve Smith. They both have 3. You finally got your first. How does it feel to finally add your name into that caliber of drivers? And I know I'm missing a whole bunch because we highlighted who has
Oh
multiple
yeah.
wins in the Icebreakers last week. But how does it feel to finally get your name on that list to say that you have won an opening day at Lincoln?
It feels. It's pretty cool. I was thinking that last week if we could get it. I knew we'd win our share of races throughout the year, but I was glad to get it out of the way, especially get it out of the way for Rich. It's a lot easier to get the second one after you get the first one out of the way because you go a while and there's a pressure of winning, and when it's hard to describe, but when you get it off of your back, it makes things easier. You can relax and just do your thing, and and just it makes it easier in different ways. So, but it was cool to win the opener there. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, it's February and we're racing in Pennsylvania, and the place was packed. And I don't know, we won the opener at uh at the Grove last year, so it was pretty cool to get one out of the way at Lincoln now. So hopefully we can win some more here in the next couple of years.
Absolutely, and it's growing too because this sets you up for a big season. I feel like because you're coming off a couple track championships over the last couple of years between Lincoln and the Grove, and it's a whole new adventure for you guys. And are you guys going to be doing traveling this year? Are you guys going to be doing just kind of doing regular Lincoln and the Grove, a little bit maybe touch Port Royal like on the bigger shows? What's the plan for this year?
I'd say I don't think we might travel a little bit during the week and stuff in some of the bigger races, like like Charlotte or some other stuff like throughout the year, depending on how we're going. And
Now,
but
I heard
mostly we'll
rumors.
be
Is
at
that
the
the
Grove.
51 or is that the 8? Is that going to be the 51 or the 8?
It depends. It could go either. Probably the 51 to travel some, but if Rich we'll do whatever. Nothing's set in stone. You know what I mean? So, but no, we'll be at the Grove every week and Lincoln most of the time. And if there's depending on what's going on, if we think it's better to go somewhere else on Saturday, we'll go do that. If Port has a bigger race or something. But as of now, the plan's to run the Grove Lincoln every week. Definitely the Grove. We'd never miss that. But Saturday maybe
Obviously.
change it up. You know what I mean. But Saturday maybe. But now we're not really traveling much. There's so many good races around here. We're just gonna be the best we can and get established the best we can, and work together with things and do the best we can around here. Obviously, first off, and then play it by ear because racing you can't plan. You gotta have a plan, but you gotta. It's hard to get things change so quick. You can only look so many weeks out.
You got to be able to pivot.
Yeah, exactly. It depends on like like there's gonna be some equipment wise we're in really good shape, but like depending on when your motors are fresh and like what races are coming up, it might make more sense to not go here versus race there for the next week or something, or for 2 weeks away that there's the outlaws coming in or something like that. So you got to think about all that stuff.
Yeah, it's entire season thing here. It's a marathon, not a sprint. That's a big thing. Is that you
Yeah.
got to be fresh for every aspect of it. I know one aspect that you really are in tune on. Now you do have one win at Lincoln, but I'm sure you want that outlaw win at the Grove, don't you, buddy? That outlaw win at the Grove.
Oh
I
yeah,
feel like that
yeah.
this could be
I
the
mean,
year for it.
yeah. That's a big goal, and we're capable of doing it. We've been close several times there, but but definitely, and it's been a while since we won that outlaw race. So if we can get an all-star win or outlaw win or both, or what, we want to be in contention and win as many as we can. And some of the nights you don't win are just as good as the ones you do. It depends on what happens. There's some you could start back and run up through the field or something, or have a really good battle for second or fourth or something, and those nights feel like you won. But the win is a lot more fun too, and it pays better. But
Obviously.
yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully we can be in contention, and we'll work on our car every week and do and work to be like do better on my part, so we can when them guys come in be in the hunt with them too. So we'll see.
Definitely,
Fantastic.
I
Well,
think
buddy, we're
the
gonna let you. Oh, sorry, Big. Go ahead.
I think the only thing that would make it better if you were to win the national open like your dad did a couple years ago there and climbed the fence and set everyone in an
No, Matt
absolute
climbed the
frenzy.
fence.
Or yeah, Matt climbed the fence, but
Big Matt
uh,
climbed the fence.
like
Yeah.
I still remember that race. I mean, God, that was absolutely nuts. I think that was the biggest ever crowd at Williams Grove or something like
Oh my
at the
gosh. Yeah.
time anyway. Like that place was a madhouse. And then your dad goes out and parks it on, I believe, his last 410 start, and
Yeah. Well,
place just absolutely
we actually
erupted.
ran the next week. Yeah. Yeah. Like, and then it couldn't you couldn't have rode it and it play out any better. Like, it ended up raining that night, and typically we go better in the slick, and we timed good, and they drew an 8 for the dash, and we started on the outside pole of the dash and ran second to Buckwater, I think. And he led for a little bit, but our car was and my dad experienced at the track and stuff. Like we were way better once partially way through the race, and it couldn't have any better. And that night it didn't. It was so cool, but when as time goes by, like a couple weeks later, when it set in what was his last year, we knew that winner was going to be my dad's last year racing. So it was it was awesome, obviously. But
Yeah.
what about what do you guys what's going on this year? I mean, I don't do social media or any of that stuff, but what do you guys see different about this year than the other years or whatever, or what's to look forward to?
Ooh, this is new. I like this. Who is this, Freddie? I'm liking this guy. I like this.
But keep it
Yeah, go
short
ahead,
because
Adam.
dinner's ready. So
Oh
you know what I
yes.
mean. So
Okay, fair enough. Go ahead, Adam.
Well, I don't know. I think on the NASCAR side of things, there's a big buzz with the new gen cars, and it seems like this year there's a lot of the wingless guys that are transitioning over to the wing stuff, aka our next guest, Kevin Thomas Jr. Um,
okay.
the birth of this new wingless series with the Outlaws is a cool deal. I mean, those are just a couple things that kind of stand out to me anyway. Bert, what do you got?
I definitely think the guys making the switch from wingless to wing, that's the big thing. The amount of big money races we're having now, my God, there's so much money on the line. And Freddie, I think you and we talked about this before. You can race in Pennsylvania and make good money out here, and you don't have
Oh
to
my gosh,
travel
yeah,
all that much.
yeah,
You don't have to.
yeah.
I
I
think
mean,
we talked about this before back on the old show. Is that there is great money to be made just here. You don't got to go that far even for it.
no, I mean you could run 11 or 12 outlaw shows just between Williams Grove, Lincoln, and Port or something. Then you go to Bridgeport. There's a lot of big races around here. There's a 19,000 to win at Lincoln for Mr. Smith this
Mm-hmm.
year. All-star shows at Lincoln, Port, the Grove. I mean, there's a lot of good paying and non-sanctioned races. There's a lot of weekly at the Grove pays really well, and then all the time trial diamond series we have at the Grove and all that stuff. So, like, it'd be hard to. Traveling's a good thing too to be better as a driver and all around, but it's hard to not race around here, especially when you're from here. I mean, it's pretty. I mean, it's a great opportunity for great racing. Like if you say you're in California or something, they might only have 35, 45 races, you know, that you could possibly run overall. So we're lucky for that part of it anyway.
Oh, did Bert lose his internet connection?
No, we're
Oh,
back.
there he is.
We're back. So
Oh, God.
it is what it is. So it's always the usual stuff. Someone always takes a shit during it. But hey, you said about the Lincoln race there. Before we let you go, I would throw this up there, and this is just a suggestion. You guys should bring the 19 car out for that one. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that
Yes.
would be pretty. That would be cool. Yeah,
I think
yeah.
we need to
Hopefully
go
somebody
talk to your
does.
father about that.
That would be really cool. Definitely.
Well,
I mean,
and so.
Stevie won the Summer Nationals in Mr. Smith's car that year
Mm-hmm.
because of the Legends race. My dad was promoting at Lincoln, so that was pretty special too to have that. And Mr. Smith was there that night watching, like he always was. But yeah, that would be a good idea.
I think you need to starting it up. Well, Freddie, we're gonna let you go enjoy dinner. By the way, tell your old man happy birthday too. It's Freddie Rahmer's
Okay,
birthday
well,
today. Yeah, please. But before you go, say or who do you got to thank for your win on Saturday, and who you got to thank getting up and down the road this year?
yeah, obviously Rich and Eichelberger and everybody helps out. Low Bar Construction, Leffler Energy, Special Rigging, all the people, Transies Equipment, and all the people that helped during the week and all that stuff. And my parents and Aaron and my whole family puts up with me. So just looking forward to getting racing here and get some warm weather and get back on our routine of things.
Amen, brother. Hey, great talking with you, Freddie. We'll see you on Saturday down in Lincoln, man.
Sounds good, guys. Thank you. See
Thanks,
ya.
buddy. There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Freddie Rahmer off the Fredericksburg Eagle Hotel hotline. Yes, happy birthday to Big Fred Rahmer today, and that what a good kid. I've gotten to know Freddie over the last year, a couple of years really, but the last year too is just get to know him, and a good kid, good head on his shoulder, and he's funny. He's funny as hell, by the way. When you get him in a good setting, he is good, like just a strong, good-headed kid and a good racer. That's the big thing. He's a fantastic racer, Adam.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't have said it any better. It's been really neat to get to know him over the last little while here, but I guess we should head to our first commercial break here, and then we'll come back with none other than KTJ.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Welcome to the 34 Motorsports Product Showcase. We're proud to offer the full line of Simpson Racing safety products. The Shark Speedway is a perfect brain bucket to keep your melon as safe as possible. We carry every model and size of Hans device, and these have saved countless lives. The Hybrid Pro Lite is an alternative to the Hans device and is just as effective. The DNA 3-layer suit offers maximum protection when things get hot. And hey, dude, those comfy shoes won't help one bit when things go south. Keep those hands ready to work with a pair of Vortex Fia Gloves meeting every current standard. From 5 to 7 points, we carry every one of the Simpson harnesses, keeping your rear end right where it should be. Keep all your gear clean and together with the helmet and FHR bag, and always be ready to hop in a race car. Visit 34motorsports.com and order today.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back here on the Highside Hustle. My name is Bert Wojcik. Alongside me is Adam Rubright. And join us on the Fredericksburg Eagle Hotel hotline. He announced earlier this afternoon he is coming into central Pennsylvania, not in a wingless car, but in a wing car. KTJ, Kevin Thomas Jr. Kevin, how are you, my bud? Good to see you.
Oh, you too, guys. No, not too bad. Just eager to get back to racing a little bit.
Hey, you know what? I'm thinking about this, before we get into this. This might be the first or second time I'm interviewing you without handing you a logger. So I might have to bring you one when we get in here this weekend. But hey, we're seeing you in Central PA, different circumstances. You're putting a wing on. And what I saw your team had a poll up where we're going to race at. Why Pennsylvania or we're going down to Texas with the Outlaws?
Well, we just had a little bit of, weather kind of depending, really, just seeing what it's going to do, where we can get the most action. Obviously Texas is a lot farther than where we're going. So like, it would have to be pretty significant for like rain percentages or whatever, to head down there. And obviously I need the practice in PA since we're going to be there, more often than we are in Texas. So, it's obviously more beneficial to go to Pennsylvania, but just laps at this point, helps me in general. So wherever we were going to go, we wanted to at least, try to race twice.
I definitely can't blame you there, but I want to get into not necessarily the why you're coming over wing side of things. I mean, I'm pretty sure we all know why. It's kind of comes down to a money thing. You can make more money running wing cars than you can wingless. But describe the difference that you feel inside of the car between the wing side of things and the wingless side of things, and how hard has it been for you to adjust to having the wing on top?
Like, honestly, the biggest thing is one, you drive out of the right side of the car, trying to lean your head out the right side. The next, you're lean to the left. So it's like things are different. The way you enter the corners different. Braking points, gas points, everything's just different. It's hard to, like, even short tracks, like at East Bay, just getting the feel for like what the air does to your race car, how to manipulate it a little bit. Whenever you do get stuck in a spot, say it's more or less a one groove racetrack, like how close can you be to the guy and actually follow him without it completely messing up your whole corner. It's just a lot of things that I'm not accustomed to that, pretty much backwards of everything that I know. And so that's a little tough. Even whenever you do have a fast race car, say you're faster than the guy in front of you, sometimes it's just difficult. Like, you can get to them, then what do you do? So, that's my biggest issue right now. I feel like we can be all right. We were not the greatest in East Bay, just figuring out new people, new types of cars, new really everything. And, they're getting a feel for me. I'm getting a feel for them. Different racetrack than, a Kokomo or whatever, that I just kind of like, all right, that's the line. That's where you run. Figuring out those things and just trying to adapt to it as fast as you can, while also learning new people as fast as you can too. So it had its challenges. I'm obviously going to reach many more challenges, right in front of us. Pennsylvania this week's probably going to be one of them. So, but just trying to get acclimated as fast as you can. That way you can at least be competitive and, take advantage of maybe a front row starting spot in the heat race, and make sure you capitalize on everything that you can to, get in a dash, because dash means more laps. Try not to be in B mains where you're, coming from 18th every night. So be there, obviously racing with different people too is quite a bit challenging, really. There's many times like at East Bay, I anticipated a guy going one way and he went the absolute opposite, and you put yourself in a bad spot, whether it be, put your like air or whatever that is. So that's the part that's like learning tendencies of other people, and learning where to put your car, and running the bottom is honestly the hardest thing to do in a wing car.
Really?
Because you don't know how hard you can actually drive it. Because East Bay, for instance, if I see a strip of moisture around the bottom and black right above it, half a car up, in a non-wing car, your initial thought's to lift. Well, in a wing car, it's like the opposite. The harder you wing it down in there, the more it's going to stick. And it's just like backwards of everything I know. So, so it's just, it's different, just different.
And this ain't your first rodeo in a wing car too, if I'm right, because you were in the B-Dubs car. I think when I had you on the old show, you were on that. That was a minute ago. It's been a long. What was it? It's got to be what, that was 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
I think that was. So I
Yep.
mean, that's 4 or 5 years ago, man. I mean, that's a long time, and this wingless thing, you've gotten pretty good at it too. And to go make this jump, it's definitely a new talent or trick for you here. But again, it's not like it was back then, because it's a whole new team, whole new setup, and you got to learn everything, like you said earlier.
Yeah, it's just, like I said earlier, it's like the people you're working with is different. The cars you're working with are obviously different. Like just even like the whole package of how it just goes together, operates. Everything's just like running with the all-stars. Like things are a little bit more high pace. Sorry, my wife's texting me. Things are a little bit more high pace. It's just different. Like even down to the amount of time you have to work on the car is different. At a USAC race, maybe it's a little more strung out. And I don't know if it's because we're used to it or what, or me personally. I'm used to maybe having a little bit more time, where it feels like I have more time to watch the track, make decisions, things like that. And, I'm not in the decision-making role right now. I have a crew chief, and I have, people I have to answer to, and not necessarily bark orders, which is different for me. Even like whenever I've had people that, are in the crew chief role in the non-wing stuff, like I can diagnose the car within a couple laps and tell them what I need and not just tell them, hey, I'm loose, hey, I'm tight. And, being able to diagnose a wing car is just foreign to me right now. And being able to, understand the vocabulary and what I need to understand and tell them how to make a change, what to make a change, how I feel in certain parts of the racetrack is challenging. And to have to do that every single night, it's just so much different than what I've ever done. And it has been a while. I've dabbled in one or two a year from, that 2017 stint until now, but, that's not enough, not with these guys.
No, absolutely
No,
not.
definitely not.
And, I think the main question is here, and Adam brought up the point of, more money in the wingless side or the wing side of things and the wingless thing. But my question is, and we'll get back on the wing side here in a second. It was a mass exit for USAC. It feels like, you lost Sunshine, you lost you lost Wyndham. Grant and Bacon are pretty much your only two guys there. Now you got a kid like Emerson Axum, who I think is going to be coming up. Where is USAC right now, you think, after this like kind of mass exodus of stars moving from wingless to wing stuff? Where do you think it is right now?
And that's hard to say. That's hard to say because I feel like the product in itself is just good. I don't feel like I didn't change from non-wing to wing, personally for all money, all like there's multiple different reasons why, and I don't necessarily have to get into those, but
No.
man, it's such a tough. I guess it really depends on who you ask. I feel like they're still like a good spot. You had Dave Darlin, John Stambro, Jerry Coons Jr. As the face for the longest time, and then I think it's just a new era of people. You got to think I'm 30, Emerson Axum's 16, so it's like that's 14 years in between each other that of you might get Emerson for 10 years. He may be the new face like a Sunshine or a me or a Wyndham or Grant or
Like
Brady. And, I just, not that we're on our way out. And a lot of us, some of us are at our peak too. It's not like we're not learning as well. We haven't accomplished everything that we want to accomplish either. But, I think just some new faces, some new things. I mean, I don't see it being detrimental by losing me and Sunshine and Wyndham. I feel like there's, you got CJ, you got Emerson in a CMR car, which brings a lot of attention. No matter really who's in it, but like the kid's good, he wins races obviously right off the bat, and in good race cars and good people around him. Then you got, like I said, CJ, you got a Jake Swanson, you got people that want their little bit of the bread as well. And I feel like it's in a good spot. Just people got to give them the opportunity and not focus so much on, oh, well, a NOS card left, a Dr. Pepper card left. I'm like, yeah, well, we didn't all start out with that. Give them a second.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I don't think they're in necessarily a bad spot either. You have the up and coming talent that's been kind of peeking its head through for the last couple of years. The guys that are leaving, so to speak, I mean, they're not leaving the sport because they're bad at it. They just want to try new things. I mean,
yeah,
you have the rest of your life to run the one thing that you've been comfortable with for the last 10 to 15 years. Like, why not branch out, try something new? If you don't like it, go back to USAC. I mean, it's you always have that, not necessarily a fallback plan, but it's kind of almost like the changing of the guards. I mean, like you have the older generation, so to speak, moving on to try new things, like I said, and you have the young kids coming up with maybe not as much sponsorship dollars behind them, and who knows what can happen. You get a couple races under your belt and see what happens.
Yeah, and like that's how it all started out for all of us. I mean,
yeah,
I know where Wyndham started. I know where Sunshine started. I know where I started, Grant. You know, a lot of us started out at the same place at Jeff Walker's. You know, I know where CJ started. You know, I know where Emerson started. I'm good friends with his dad, him. You know, so it's like, you know, we all have similar stories. It's just like people get so, if social media wasn't a thing, it wouldn't be that big a deal. You know,
Yes.
but it is. Now everybody gets their 2 cents worth. You know, when they probably don't need to express it. You know, I feel like they spread more negative than they do positive. Man, I don't know. It's like sometimes just shut up, don't say nothing. You know,
Yeah.
just let the kids show what they got, and don't worry about me or Wyndham or Sunshine. Worry about Emerson Axum. You know, cheer on Jake Swanson. You know, CJ. You know, they give you a good product too. Like
Yeah.
you still got T-Mez, and you know you're still gonna get your good interviews. Like it's not like I'm not that. I mean, I'm not that interesting. Wyndham's not that interesting. Sunshine's, you know, Sunshine. Everybody loves him, but he's not that interesting either. So I mean, yeah, we won races, but we didn't like bring nothing to the table other than just going
Yeah.
fast in a race car and like we're good to our fans. But like you still got a good product. You know, it's like I don't know. It's like people just spaz out so much, and I'm like, why? Like it's not.
Yeah.
It's not, the world is not ending. It's not going to stop turning for 3 people. You know,
Yeah.
there's 3 people out there that are just as good as us at driving race cars that are, if not there, if not already there, are coming. And I mean, Emerson showed you right off the bat. He's 16 years old.
Yeah.
He's out there waxing everybody's ass.
Yeah,
So it's like,
exactly. I mean,
yeah, you got that to look forward to. A good kid gives a good interview, represents things well. I mean, I feel like that's pretty easy to diagnose right there.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
don't know, man. I don't know. It frustrates me a little bit because I'm just like, we're, I guess in some people's eyes, yeah, but like we're not that big of a deal, and in my eyes, and it's like there's people that could easily replace me and Wyndham. Like we're not the greatest with fans. We're not the greatest on the track, off the track, whatever. You know, it's not like we bring something to the table, but there's also other people out there that, you know, are just as interesting or could have just as much of a fan base as what we do. So I just don't feel like there needs to be that big of a discussion about it and that big of a up in arms of, oh my God, USAC's dying. USAC's not dying. Like
yeah.
just because we don't
I,
still have Jan Opperman doesn't mean that they're like, yeah, they come and go, like it happens.
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, USAC is still going to travel. They're still going to come into the Pennsylvania. I mean, yeah, you're not going to have a couple of the guys you're so used to seeing for the last how many years, but who knows? You say you go to a Grandview on a Tuesday night for the first night of the Eastern Storm. You see Emerson, for example, race for the first time in person. You're like, wow, I really like him. And you're still going
Yeah.
to get the opportunity to see like guys like yourself and Wyndham and Thorson, for example, who are kind of crossing over to the wing side of things. You're still going to get to see them. It might not be in a USAC car, but you're still going to get to have a chance. Going to have a chance to interact with them at some point throughout the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, man, I don't know. It's, and like, I've been like, I guess, and I'm sure Wyndham has too, and Sunshine as well. Like I haven't really spoke to him a whole lot about the situation, but I don't feel like there's a need to. But like I've been praised, I've been bashed. Like I don't know. Like it just good for you, and then also why would you do that? And I'm like, man, it's just a sprint car. I'm just going to race sprint cars just because I'm
Yeah.
not. I don't know. It's like I'm not doing anything like abnormal, and I just don't
Yeah.
I don't understand. Yeah, I'm going to run a wing car. I'm probably going to get my pecker smashed in the dirt for a while, and man, if I get good at it, great. If I don't, well, man, I'm a non-wing guy. Like I don't know, like it ain't that. I would, yeah. There's more money that's available, but I mean, you still got to run good in order to do that. Like, yeah, I'm taking a chance. I'm not doing it for the money, and I'm not getting paid a $300,000 salary. Like nobody's throwing money at it. Like we're working off dang near our non-wing budget, and you know, man, it's not extravagant. It's honestly stressful as shit because I'm like, I could suck all year and make like 6 pennies. And this could not be good for like financial reasons. Like it's possible. Like it's a gamble as much as anything. And
Right.
Like that Tiger King meme, I'm never gonna financially recover from this.
Recover from
yeah,
it.
like honestly, like it could be very detrimental to my life, you know? And I'm a highly competitive person. I don't like getting beat at realistically anything. And I'm liable to do that for 365 days, if not more.
Yeah.
I mean, it might not be like that, but it might.
I mean,
So it's like
I
You
think
never
you're
know.
gonna get accustomed to it a lot faster than you think. Especially, you're gonna come into Pennsylvania here. You're gonna race on tracks that you're familiar with. I mean, you've seen them
yeah,
before, so it's not like you're gonna be completely out to lunch. I mean, you might
yeah,
be, but hey, at least you're coming. You're trying it. So
yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. You're
So it's
coming
like,
and
go ahead.
oh, sorry, Kevin. No, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, it's just like, man, I don't know. Sometimes y'all gonna get me going down a rabbit hole, but it's man, it's just like I just want to try it. Like, why wouldn't I? Like,
Yeah.
wing racing has a bunch of hype around it right now. Like, why wouldn't you? Y'all ever Did y'all ever put any money in on like Bitcoin or anything?
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, because it had a
Doge
bunch of
to the
hype,
moon.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
y'all did
Doge to
it.
the moon.
Y'all did it. Everybody's wing racing's the greatest thing in the world. Well, let's go see. It might
Hey,
be, it
let's
might
give it a
not be
shot.
for me personally. I like it. It's a sprint car. It goes real freaking fast. So let's see. See if I
So
can be good at it.
Give it a
some would
go.
say they go faster than a wingless car. So
Yeah.
let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know.
Plus, I mean,
God,
plus you get, you have your big events like the Knoxville Nationals, Kings Royal, things like that. Which, I mean, it's not going to hurt to get your name out there, especially sponsorship wise. I mean, heck, you show up to the biggest stage on racing, sporting a fresh looking Dr Pepper McDonald's car, and
Yeah.
who knows where that takes you down the road. You know what I mean?
Well,
And
and that's the thing. It's like the sponsorship exposure for some of these places, like a Knoxville Nationals or a National Open, or there's many other races out there that, yeah, they do pay big money, but they also have big exposure. Whether it be a non-wing car, a street stock, whatever it is, like if street stocks was the next big thing, I'd be out there buying a Dodge Neon right now. But it's like it's not. It's just a wing car is. And I mean, I got great sponsors. I got a lot of people that are involved, and I want to try to give them the correct amount of exposure as I can. And whenever you go to a Knoxville Nationals, I would rather not be in the E main. I'd rather try to get them to a B or an A, or possibly get them out there as much as I can. Is probably good for T-shirt sales, probably good for just all around exposure. And personally, financially, whatever it is, I'm like, I hate to even say this, but like sometimes it's a business decision, you know,
Mhm.
and sometimes you got to take a chance on those, and every once in a while they crash and burn, you go bankrupt, but hopefully not.
I mean,
Hopefully not. I mean,
essentially,
we
racing is a business, top to bottom. You know,
yeah.
Yeah,
And we want to see you, around here for a while because I think this is a conversation like this. By the way, we're joined by Kevin Thomas Jr. of the Fredericksburg Eagle Hotel Hotline, and that's why I think people, really respect you and your opinions. I feel like because you give it an honest conversation like this, and that was fantastic. And you're showing that hey, this is a chance I got to take now because. When are you going to get an opportunity like this to go chase, an all-star champion? When are you going to get a chance to go and, say, all right, or even prove to yourself that you can do this. You got to go and try it to even see if you can even do it in begin with. And I think your racing talent, what you showed on the USAC side of things. I mean, obviously, it may, obviously, Sunshine last year had a phenomenal year, and I mean, you may turn in to have that phenomenal year. Who knows? I mean, obviously, there's a long season to be played out, but still, you don't know until you at least go out and try it.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like it, I this gonna sound bad, but it's not intended that way. But
Let her
like
rip.
I don't race for other people. I race for myself, and not like literally, but literally. Like I race to like prove things to myself, and now I'm very fortunate. I have a great fan base. I have great sponsors behind me. I have great car owner and Clayton Snow. Like a lot of people like believe in me, but like I also still do it because I want to do it, and and it's not really for anybody else. This is something. It's like picking up the game of golf. You might suck ass at it for a long time, or you might just be natural at it right off the bat, and it's something that you just wanted to try to learn. Just because this is on a bigger pedestal, I guess. It's not really any different in like my mind than doing that, picking up a different hobby. Just so happens this is my job, and it's out there for everybody to see. It's social media. It's got a lot of things behind the scenes, whether it be sponsors or fans or whatever it is. But like I do this to like just to see if I can do it. And now that doesn't say that I'm not going to give 100% at it. I'm obviously going to put everything I have in me. Like I haven't worked out since like 2009. I've been going to the gym lately because the wing car wears my ass out. And I'm like, well, I can't have that happen. So like, I'm like anti-gym. Like I don't even like it, but I'm doing it just because I know that's what needs to happen. And I got to be competitive. And so I'm like, man, I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for obviously a lot of other reasons, but I just want to see. I want to go try to beat the other best of the best. I feel like non-wing guys, like we're some of the best, yeah. And like we worked hard to get there, all of us. All the Bradys and CJs and me, Thorson. We all come from like being not very good to being good, and learning along the way in relationships and things like that. Well, I just want to start like a new chapter and try to make more. And man, it's like I've had this, like y'all aren't the first, and you probably won't be the last of why I made the decision to switch. And I don't know why not.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So what's a reasonable expectation for you this year? What goals have you set for this year for first year in a wing car?
I don't know. Like I have my own personal goals. I guess they're like I want to win a couple races, whether it be some local races, whether it be all-star races, whatever the case is. Like I want to get to victory lane this year, and I feel like we're capable. We might it might end up being at a track that I'm just familiar with, or a little short track where you can kind of drive it like a non-wing car. I don't know. It might be at a big place. No clue. But I would like to get to victory lane. And another thing is like I would just like to show success. Just progress. Not slow progress. I'm not unrealistic. I know it's not going to be immediate results, but I like quick progress and 100% from everybody. Everybody do their jobs, me included, and try to succeed at what we're doing. And sometimes success is not always defined by a checkered flag. It could be, man, we ran 12th for 3 weeks. Now we run 8th. Now we run 4th. It's like just consistency and showing success in that frame, I feel like would be something that I would expect of our team.
Yeah, definitely. Now, before we let you get out of here, because I'm sure it's probably 8 o'clock. You're probably getting ready to go to the gym. I mean, got to get
No,
them
I do that
gains
in the
in.
mornings now.
Morning
Morning
guy.
guy.
Get the morning thing.
7:30.
Out of all the tracks you're gonna get ready to come in to see, I mean, you're gonna have Williams Grove here in a couple of weeks with the All Stars when you come back in. You got Lincoln. You got Port Royal. Which one of those tracks scares the ever living shit out of you coming into for the first time with a wing? Because if your answer is in Port Royal with the speeds that you're gonna that you can carry with that at that place, or maybe Williams Grove, I don't know. I mean,
Williams Grove is my scariest one.
Okay.
Williams Grove, and not necessarily. You would think that scaring is would be crashing. They're all gonna hurt. My biggest thing is me being a sissy and not driving in far enough at Williams Grove. Like Port Royal is kind of self-explanatory. Like it's got a little bit more banking. The turns are a little more sweeping. It's different. And
you have a little bit of room if you fuck up, is what you're saying at Port Royal.
Honestly, yeah, you do. And like Williams Grove, my biggest fear, I swear to God, my biggest fear is spinning out. And preferably turn 3, because I got a feeling I'm going to get lit up by that set of stands.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Not us up at the Beer Hill.
No, not us at the Beer Hill gang. No.
Like it terrifies me to like not crash. I know that's going to hurt. I already know what that would feel like. It's spinning out and just being consistently slow. Like that scares the shit out of me.
You'll figure it out. Hey, you have a chance to come back in next week. Well, if you have the doubleheader this weekend and the following week, why not try Williams Grove opening day?
I think we are.
Macedo came in. He won the damn thing, and he won.
Hell, Macedo was the points leader for fucking 6 months before we got back to racing.
That good at the group.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he hot streak. So you win out.
It may be different. I may like understand it a little bit more, but like everything I've ever heard from people that I don't know. Like the lift points don't make sense there just because it's so different. Like I've watched in-car video after in-car video. I'm like, they drive it to there? I'm like, holy shit. So it's like, in a non-wing car, we lifted like a mile and a half early.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't that
you're lifting at the bridge on the backstretch to set it up for turn 3.
So it wasn't that intimidating, really. Like it was fun, but like it wasn't that. And everybody was on the same page. Nobody knew what they were getting into. And like, yeah, we set a track record, but I don't know how, really. And I'm like, I can't drive in that deep. And then you like do it and it's not that bad, but like I watch and I know my lift points there. But the wing car, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, and the right front's 6 foot in the air. And I'm like, what is that? I can't even see. Yeah. So it's like, it's a little spooky because it's just like different. Like you're driving around with the right front dangling in the air. Next thing you know, like you don't even know where you're at. Then you got to lift and then turn 90 degrees and you're like, Jesus Christ, I don't know. It's like, it's spooky to me. Like the speeds don't scare me. Yeah. But just looking like an idiot scares the death out of me.
The fear of the unknown.
Yeah, basically. Unknown, yes. I have to go look for that now because I think I do have a picture of you with 6 foot, the front end 6 foot in the air or 6 inches in the air, going turn 3 at the Grove. I mean, it's different, but I think one track that's going to suit you well when you come in here, and you didn't do. I don't know how well I forget how well you did last year at it, but Bridgeport, that new configuration, that feels like fits your style. A little bit better. That new configuration of Bridgeport.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to Bloomsburg.
I was thinking.
Well, obviously.
I was thinking you'd be looking to Grandview towards Grandview on the wing side of things. Tight little bull ring.
All Stars aren't going there. That's the problem. All Stars.
Oh, that's right. Shit.
Oh, we don't go there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're in for PA Speed Week.
Bloomsburg's my style. I like that. A little flat, goofy, just different. Like, we won the non-wing race there, and like, I don't know. Now it's my new favorite track.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Makes
Dude,
no
we'll let you
sense.
get going. This has been a absolutely awesome interview. Thank you so much for not only for your time and coming in this weekend too. It's gonna be a lot of fun to see you again. Hopefully, and we'll catch up at some point here. But before we let you go, who do you got to thank for all your success so far, and who you got to thank for getting you up and down the road this year?
This year, we got obviously Dr. Pepper McDonald's. We got new people that come on board with Capstone Motorsports. They're actually out of Alabama, which is pretty cool. And then Triple X Chassis, FK Shocks, Clayton Snow, which is the guy who owns the cars. He's been a big supporter of mine. Everybody, just down to Smith Tie. They do a lot for us, and obviously help us stop. Just a lot of people that have been there just along the way, and new people that have really just like stood behind us and got behind us here again this year. So big appreciation to those guys. Eddie Gilstrap Motors, Silver Ranches, a lot of people that are new. So I appreciate all those people and all the hard work and dedication they have for us. So we'll see you guys in PA.
All right, buddy. Have a safe
I know
travel.
one
We'll see
thing.
you up here this weekend.
I can't wait to take pictures of that beautiful Dr. Pepper car on
Yes.
Saturday.
Do you like the
Cannot
new one?
wait to see that. Oh,
I do.
gorgeous.
You like that?
I'm a big fan.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
good deal.
Last year,
Good.
I thought your wingless car was beautiful last year. This new car, I can't wait. I cannot wait to shoot it. So
Hopefully
all right,
it's as
buddy.
fast as what it looks.
Hopefully.
If
God, I
not,
hope so,
hey,
man.
there's a setting on our cameras we can make it look fast. So
Yeah,
Oh,
we're good
perfect.
at that. Yeah,
Perfect.
it's called Photoshop. Talk to you later, Kevin. We'll see you this weekend.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Take care, buddy. See ya. There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Thomas Jr. rolling off the Fredericksburg Eagle Hotel hotline. Holy shit, what an interview. Let's dive into that. We're going to take a commercial break first. We'll dive into that interview as soon as we come back from break here. You're watching the Highside Hustle right here on the National Race Network.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Highside Hustle right here on the National Racing Network. And my name is Bert Wojcik, Adam Rubright, Chris Graham, our executive producer. Down below, you have 34 Motorsports ticker, and just off the Fredericksburg Eagle Hotel hotline, probably one of the best interviews we've ever done, one of the best interviews you probably will ever see. What an interview from Kevin Thomas Jr. Wow, what a guy. That was fun. That was a lot of fun, Adam.
yeah, that was, like you said, definitely a lot of fun. Brutally honest about anything we asked him. You don't find too many people like that these days. Somebody clip that. God,
we're going to. We will clip this. And we'll get this out on the audio.
His responses to the USAC questions and things like that, it's just outstanding. I mean,
it just blew everything up.
Who cares that him and two other... Honestly, I agree with him, though. You're still getting USAC in. You still have your big names. You have the up-and-coming kids that we're going to get a chance to see more of. it's a win-win for the sport.
And I
The
think
wing side of things gets a couple more cars, and guys that are trying to expand their talent. The wingless side of things, you're getting the up and coming kids, and X amount of dollars maybe are going to some new guy.
Yeah.
You never know what could happen. I mean, it's not like it's bad for the sport. Like I said, you're still going to get your USAC in Pennsylvania. You're still going to get your USAC wherever the hell you watch it from. And on top of it, you're adding 3 quality cars and drivers to the winged ranks. So it's a win-win for the sport, in my opinion.
absolutely, I think so. It is too. I mean, it's just he nailed it on the head. And I think Nicole Flood said it best down in the comment section. There is that it's a transition for USAC, and I've said this for years: is that everyone's afraid of change. Everyone is afraid of change, and that's why I think this whole thing came up. USAC is on the outs now because you don't have KTJ, Wyndham's gone, Sunshine's gone. What's USAC going to be? Well, now like you said, Emerson Ashton proved at Bubba's that he's here. Justin Grant,
the kids are all right.
Anywhere. The kids are all right. Yes, Justin Grant is Jake Swanson. He's a good kid there. Stockton, whenever he runs, he's always fun to watch. He's still got Teamez there. You got a lot of good young talent that's going to be able to come out and, still prove that USAC's going to be all right and be a developmental side that people can go and do this again and, maybe have the next KTJ or Sunshine or Wyndham come up and go wing racing at some point. It's in good hands, folks. And that was... Yeah. Holy shit, what an interview. Yeah, we barely even talked wing racing with. Well, we did talk wing racing with him, and I thought his point of the grove there, well, it scares the shit out of me because I don't want Bear Hill saying you can't park there. And now, Kevin, you should know that if you do spin out, the whole hill...
He's the one that's saying you can't park there.
Literally.
So.
Yes. Yeah, he's already saying he can't park there. So it's gonna happen. But there's no ifs or buts. It is going to happen. But yes. Yeah. Anyway, before we get into news and notes, by the way, we did mention it, Logan Watt, but Ryan, go down and pick up the $25,000 to win Short Track Super Series. We will have both interviews, by the way, thanks to Freddie Rahmer and KTJ for coming on the Fredericksburg Eagle Hotel hotline. I still can't get over those interviews tonight. Fantastic. Let's get into what Finch's news and notes this week, and what's Finch's new business this week, Adam? Are we sticking with that?
I think we're just going to leave it Finch's news and notes for the week. Yeah, we're just going to leave it Finch's news and notes for the week.
Okay. Finch. Yeah.
Don't need to get super extravagant into it. But anyway, since we're running somewhat short on time, here we go. USAC cancels weekend Cali events due to unfavorable forecast. Can't blame them there. USAC and track officials are looking for possible dates to reschedule the events at Thunderbolt and Keller.
That's CRA, right?
Yes. USAC/CRA. Either way, I always try to tune in because it's always usually pretty good racing out there.
Oh, yeah.
Next we have the Bristol Bash. Purse is totaling $400,000, which... quite impressive. You figure that's what, $25,000 to win for the late models and the sprint cars. Probably what, $13,000-14,000 for second. I mean, it's big boy numbers there for Bristol this year.
Big boy, yeah. And
big boy.
I think there was that $20,000 to win last year? I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. No, Bristol put up a lot of money. Even with the XR series they have there going on beforehand, there's a lot of money to be had at Bristol this year. A lot.
Yeah. For sure. Bristol's putting out big boy numbers on the dirt this year, which is awesome to see. No surprise here. Tony Stewart's back in with SRX. Who would have thought? Last year's champion going to be racing again. But you're also going to add Matt Kenseth and Haley Deegan. Kenseth is going to run 3 shows where Haley Deegan is going to run 2, which
did you see
pretty interesting.
This weekend? Yes, it will be. Did you see this weekend where Joe Logano called Matt Kenseth a prick on Fox?
I did not, actually.
Yes, apparently they had Kenseth. He was in the booth with Boyer and Mike Joy, and apparently they radioed down Logano, and supposedly Logano called him a prick. So, I mean, there's no bad blood there.
No, not at all. Here's an interesting one for you. Through the 10 races, 410 sprint car races that have been held in the United States, there has been 10 different winners.
Really?
Yes.
No shit.
I should have wrote the list down, but Little Freddie was the 10th.
Yep.
You figure Macedo's won one.
Yep.
Sweet. Or no, did Sweet win? Yeah, Sweet. Macedo won out in California. Gravel. Fuck, who else?
Odd.
Yep. So there's 6. Who won at East Bay? Sunshine and Eliason.
Yep.
So you're like 8 or 9 there. So yeah.
And that's winged too, and that's in the winged.
Yes, that's the winged 410 racing.
Yes, because wingless Emerson Axel already broke that streak, with the 2 wins he had down in Volusia. But yeah, you're right.
So for the 10 winged races we've had, there has been 10 different winners, not a single repeat winner yet.
Wow.
Which I think that'll change this weekend. We'll get into that here shortly in the weekend preview. Lastly, on Finch's news and notes, New Year, same Mark Smith in 360 competition. He completed a weekend sweep at the Battle of the Beach in Milton, Florida, which, to no one's surprise, is his 3rd win in just his 5th start of the season.
Yeah, all hail.
His other 2 finishes were a DNF and a 5th.
All hail King of the 360s, Mark Smith. So, that it? That's what you got for news and notes?
That's it. Yep,
all right.
That's all I got.
So, thanks to Finch for sponsoring our news and notes segment. Yeah, so let's get into it this weekend. We got a lot of racing coming up this weekend. Obviously, we'll start with the national side of things. Outlaws back at the Cotton Bowl for 2 nights, starting tomorrow night and Saturday night. The big races down there. World of Outlaw Elite Models are back in action at the Rev. Or no, is that next week? That's next weekend they're at the Rev.
Yeah, the Rev's next week.
The Rev's next weekend here. Yes. Revs next weekend and Long next weekend. Georgetown, we'll preview that next week as well on here. And then, of course, this weekend in Central Pennsylvania, we go back to the Pigeon Hills, the Lincoln Speedway, looking for another fantastic race down there on Saturday. And then Sunday, we will have to see if it'll happen, but Port Royal gets opened up this weekend, and I'm hoping they get it in, but I hope it's a night race. And Sunday, I think you're looking at a late Sunday afternoon start for Port Royal. Looking at the forecast and all that, I think you're looking at a late Sunday afternoon start. I think it's going to happen Sunday, unless we get a monstrous amount of rain. But I feel like it's going to be a Sunday afternoon or late Sunday afternoon race.
The temperatures will be beautiful. What, 70, 72, I think I saw.
And then
rain in the morning. I don't know. I'd like to see them get it in. Lincoln, as always, should be fun on Saturday. I think. Who do I think is going to win at Lincoln?
Yeah, let's do that.
I think Macri picks up a win this week. He ran really well. Either Macri or Marks, both of them ran well. Still the luck of the draw at the beginning of the season, so we'll see what happens there. As far as the outlaw side of things, I think Logan Schuhart picks up his first win of the season, one of the nights, and then I think first repeat win of the year is going to be Sheldon Hochschild.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I'm going to go with Brad Sweet wins the night down at Cotton Bowl. But then I also feel like I think Shots gets a win too. Shots gets a win. Lincoln?
It's possible. I mean, Shots is running really well. They put a lot of work into that Ford over the off season, so he's rolling right now too. So you never know what can happen there. I think it might be the year of Shots.
The rebirth of Donnie.
We'll see what. We'll see what happens there.
And then Scotty Shots comes out. Whenever Donnie Shots comes out, Scotty Shots comes out. Chris knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But before we get out of here shortly, before Chris literally hold on before he has
Okay.
a fucking heart attack over there. Want to give a big happy birthday shout out to Jack Cromer.
Yes. Happy birthday,
So,
Jack. New Sprint Car Hall of Famer. Well deserved. Happy birthday, my friend, and can't wait to see you soon. So, yes, happy birthday, Jack, as well. A lot of big birthdays today. Holy shit. Um, so yes, Lincoln. I'll go with Marks. You know, he had a lot. I think him and Freddie are probably gonna have a good battle. It all depends on the draw. Again, all depends on the draw. But I think Brett Marks gets it done this weekend. He looked really good last weekend. Lincoln's not one of his better tracks either. Even though he has a couple wins down there, but Lincoln, I don't feel like it suits him as well as Port Royal has the last couple of years. But Brent Marks, I think, can get it done on Saturday. Sunday, if we race a Port, do I go with a good pick or do I go with the upset? What do you want?
hit him with the upset.
Dylan Cisney upsets the field in a brand new car, going out and picks up his second opening win in Port Royal.
I could see it. I could definitely see it.
New car. That 2 car didn't run bad this year. It's basically a 2 car with a 5 slapped on it. So give me Dylan Cisney to win. Who you got?
What do I got? Oh man, I don't know. It's gonna be hard to go against a 5-Pete.
Logan.
I think he picks up. Yeah, I think he picks up opening day.
Yeah, and that would be his. I believe I'm right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Obviously, he won Tuscarora 50, but I don't think he didn't have another win last year, did he?
God.
I'm trying to think off the top of my head if he did. I could look it up, but I probably should. Anyway, but yeah, I like Logan, but you know who else is probably gonna be up there this weekend? I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it one bit. Lance Deweese. If he's up there this weekend, yeah, you're in for a barn burner. If he's up there, I don't know if he is or not, but let me see here. You got me thinking here. If Logan did get a win last year, okay,
obviously he
Logan
won
did have 2 wins last year.
Didn't he win an All-Star race?
He got one in April
earlier in the season.
Yeah, he got one in April, and then obviously Tuscarora, and then Tuscarora. Actually, that was his only win and points total last year because the points ended on the night before the 50. But yeah, he had looking at his points. God, he was in the top 3 or top 5 most of the year. That's consistent right there, man. So I think that's gonna be difficult to beat if he don't go for the 5-peat this year.
Him and the Zemco team, and you really can't honestly count them out. They're just so unbelievably consistent at that track. It's hard to count them out.
It is.
They can be having literally the worst night ever, and they'll still somehow find a way to rebound for a solid finish all the time.
Yep. Even though I'm still going to go with Macri pulling the upset and taking over the track championship this year. I'm still sticking with that. I'm holding that down. So.
We'll see what happens.
All right, folks. Well, I think we need to wrap this show up because I am amped up after that KTJ interview, and yeah, and Freddie was fantastic. Wow. All right. Anyway, before we wrap this up, Chris, you got anything, sir? We haven't heard too much of you tonight.
No, you guys haven't heard much of anything. Guess that means it was a pretty good show.
I guess so.
Things go quiet for the next week-ish on the National Racing Network, at least sort of anyway. It's week 13 in iRacing world, so that means there's no officials, none of that kind of stuff. Only thing we have next week, I think, is you knuckleheads and the Sim Racers Club. They're off too. Yeah, I think it's only you 2 idiots.
All right.
Maybe we'll do a live pizza at the Pagoda show. Check that one out on the NRN podcast on all your favorite podcasting platforms. And the full show from tonight will be available tomorrow for download on your favorite podcasting platform.
Woo! So if you're listening to this on podcast, it's the day after you downloaded this that this is going up. So whatever you listen to it. So just pick that day and think of it the day before.
In English,
Yeah.
this was recorded
Basic.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Unless you're not listening to it on release day.
Yes.
Yeah.
This was recorded the day before yesterday or the day after tomorrow, whatever you want to look at it.
To make this look smart here, Bert. If you don't enjoy watching us two idiots make an ass of ourselves on the internet, you can now listen to it on whatever you want: Spotify, iTunes, Apple Play, whatever. But I don't care. Whatever it is.
Just listen to us. Give us a thumbs up, 5-star review. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us here every week. You know, we had a lot of fun this week. We had a lot. It's fun to get back doing interviews. Fun to get down to Lincoln, and can't wait to get back to Lincoln on Saturday. Hopefully we do get the Port Royal this weekend. It's gonna be a little. I think, depends on work and other things here. If we can get the Port Royal this weekend, but we will try there. But I think next weekend, I'm putting this out there already. I think we go down south next weekend. Because there is a 25,000 to win race next Saturday afternoon in March.
Oh, fuck, Georgetown. Yeah.
25,000 to win next Saturday in March. Ooh.
Okay, you said March. You said March like 4 times now. We get it. It's in March.
There it is.
Okay, Denise.
Oh my God! All right, that's it for everyone here at the Highside Hustle. Once again, big thanks to both Freddie Raymore and Kevin Thomas Jr. for joining us on the Fredericksburg Eagle Hotel Hotline. 34 Motorsports for the ticker down below with all the results. Alan Grace and Hot Shoe Racewear with this fantastic flag he has given myself and Adam and Chris. We all have those. And we have a couple other things working in the works here. By the way, thanks to Finch's Meat Markets for the Finch's News and Notes as well. Big thanks to him as well. And we have a couple other things, as I said, coming up here very soon. Hopefully we'll be able to announce them next week. So, folks, that'll do it here for another great episode of the Highside Hustle. That is Big Sexy Adam Rubright for executive producer Chris Graham. My name is Bert Wojcik. Keep on hustling, folks. We will see you guys next week. Enjoy the races.